It's a rainy day in Samarqand today at the Bibi Khanum Masjid, and it's in the 15th century. It was one of the largest and most magnificent mosques in the Islamic world, masterpiece of the Timuride Renaissance. And by the mid 20th century, only a grandiose ruin of it still survived. And but major parts of the mosque were restored in the 1950s and 60s during the Soviet USSR period. I mean, technically the mosque was completed. It's a complex of three mosques. The mosque was completed in 1404 with a dome height of 40 meters, and it was affected by the earthquake of 1897. Here you are, the domes. It's a three-building complex called the Bibi Khanum Mosque, and we are coming to the stone Quran monument. The birds are chirping in the background, and you can see the stone Quran monument. Nothing much has been known about this, but this has always been known as the stone Quran document. Birds chirping, and the beautiful entrances to the Bibi Khanum Mosque, and the superior domes. After his Indian campaign in 1399, Amir Timur or Timur Lame, depending on your point of view, his titles were many, decided to undertake the construction of a gigantic mosque in his new capital, Samarqand. And when Timur returned from his military campaign in 1404, the mosque was almost built, almost complete, but he was not happy at all with the progress and had various changes made, especially to the main cupola, is somewhere up there. From the beginning, problems of structural integrity came to the fore, and there were various reconstructions and reinforcements were undertaken to save the mosque. I'll show you some of those aspects inside here. You can see the original mosque still being screened off because the Soviets did the restoration, or other aspects of this were done, but the shell has been made secure. Yes, there were various reconstructions and reinforcements were undertaken to save the mosque, but just after a few years, bricks began to fall out of the huge dome, and over the mihrab. And Timur's orders, not instructions but orders, pushed the building techniques of those times to their limit. And the building's integrity was not helped by rushed construction as usual. These things were very, very important to Timur and to Bibi Khanum herself, but there were very big problems here structurally during the construction. You can see the original brickwork and the reconstruction, and the domes were restored with local masters, as they are called, and it was done during the Soviet days. This is one of the greatest constructions in Central Asia of its time, and as you can see, the historian Sharafuddin Ali Yazdi wrote in his work Zafarnama or Zafarnamo. He says, On the fourth day of Ramadan month in 1801, or May 10th, 1399, Amir Timur chose the best place of the capital for a mosque. The famous masters and architects formed the project of that great building and began to build its foundations in the happiest time, quote unquote, from Sharifuddin Ali Yazid, the author of Zafarnama. These are some images from the past. In those days, here are more pictures of what it is like. It used to be like, rather. There you go. So Amir Timur named the mosque after his wife, SAREY MULK Khanum, but actually she commissioned the mosque herself in the late 16th century. Abdullah Khan, second of Abdullah Khan Uzbek, about 1533 to 1598, the last Shaybani dynasty Khan of Bukhara. I think we've been to his mausoleum, or his family's mausoleum. Cancelled all restoration works. Later on, the mosque slowly became a ruin, as you saw in the previous pictures, with winds howling through it. Finally, the inner arch of the portal construction collapsed in the earthquake of 1897. And for centuries after, the ruins were plundered for for building materials by some of the local inhabitants in search of marble and special bricks and whatnot. So that was the state of affairs of the ruins. But then some good work was done later. But a marvelous environment here, just standing in this court. It's really superb. Bibi Khanum was very influential in Amir Timur's life, and during his 5 years absence as part of his expeditions, she had quite an influence on the governance of the kingdom or the Emirates. Regarding the recent restorations, I mean, you could say even during the time of the USSR, these were recent in terms of the historical context of the mosque's construction. A basic investigation to secure the ruins was conducted, because this whole area, they were just imprints, really. They were ruins which marked the areas where the structures, where the once grand structures stood. And late in the 20th century, the Uzbek government began restoration of the three dome buildings and the main portal. In 1974, that would have been during the Soviet times, the then government of USSR began the restoration of the reconstruction of the mosque, extensively restoring, supplementing the decoration of the domes and the facades. Yeah, this is part of the main dome, the main focus, the center of the complex. So in 1974, the then government of Uzbekistan, which was part of the USSR, or the Uzbek SSR, also known as at that time, began the complex reconstruction of the mosque. You can see during these restorations a band of inscriptions revealing the Surat al-Baqarah of the Quran was added to the main Iwan, or sanctuary of the mosque, which has been screened off now. And even during my visit here in 2016, that's about 8 years ago. There were still restoration works going on. And let us see what we have here. Yeah, you can see how, you can just about see the original ruins as well. So I think they've left it like this to show what remained of the original structure. And the inside has been left as it was, and the main shell and the dome and the other important structural parts have been reinforced and secured for people to still admire. And that's the inside here, as shown from the other side as well previously in this video. Yeah, but all this is screened off now, and a very good close-up of the brickwork of that time. And this is quite interesting to be here on a rainy day. Usually Samarqand is very sunny, and especially during the summer, temperatures can go up to 42 Celsius here. Another example that shows the restorations by the masters who've replicated what it would have been, plus the original tiles and the various inscriptions here. The scale is amazing. Here you can see more of the original shell and part of the reinforcement work done. And then local master craftsmen and plus the Soviet archaeologists of that time, they all joined in to restore this and preserve it. Here you can see a fundamental crack there in the center of the arch. And this was a precursor to a lot of historical monuments built by the Mughals during their reign across India, going right down south to the Deccan. You see the front portal and the minarets on the side to mark the entrance to this grand mosque. Here lies buried Bibi Khanum. It's called Bibi Khana Mausoleum, or in Uzbek, Bibi Khanum Maqbarasi. In India, in Mughal India, Aurangzeb built a maqbara, I think it was for his mother, called Bibi Maqbara, Bibi Ka Maqbara, or Maqbarasi. And this is Bibi Khanum's Maqbarasi, or mausoleum for Bibi Khanum, the wife of Amir Timur. The panorama of the Bibi Khanum Mosque from Bibi Khanum's mausoleum here, and you can see. And we are about to go to Registan Square, which is on this side. I'm told this is the mosque of Hazrat Khizr, and adjoining that is the mausoleum, or the Maqbarasi, as they say here, of Islam Karimov, the first president of Uzbekistan. Here we are going to the Bibi Khanum Chai Khana. Yes, it's written in Russian, Bibi Khanum Chai Khana, and in Uzbek they call it the Bibi Khanum Chai Khana, because X is pronounced as KH in Russian, and We are going into the Chai Khana of Bibi Khanum, and yeah, the famous Bibi Khanum Chai Khana. And the domes of the Bibi Khanum Mosque, a traditional Chai Khana or tea house. You can see it's quite lively in the summer. Normally, it's very good here.